Welcome back to the garage gym, and as you can already see below me right here, this video is a dedicated full review to what we have in the box right here, the brand new Force USA AirBike. And you're probably wondering, why are you getting this bike when you have that bike right there behind you from Soul Fitness? Well, if you watch the garage gym plans for 2025, I want to get as much off-grid equipment here in this garage gym. I'm trying to keep it down to one garage gym. Struggling a little bit, so I'm going to document all that stuff, but we really want to keep everything kind of contained within one garage gym, which means things are going to have to go and things like this are going to take its place. Now, the one design flaw that really makes this bike right here a deal breaker, besides the fact you have to plug it in. Some people don't care about that part. I do at this particular time, but I'm going to show you real quick why this is not recommended, just like I talked about in my full review video. This dial right here absolutely, completely sucks, meaning that you have to turn it this way or that way, and you don't have any kind of clicking sound for the resistance level. So I kind of have to feel it out and kind of do this. But as I've used this throughout many different workouts, this has become looser and I can't tighten it. So when I'm pedaling or standing up on the bike or pedaling very quickly, it starts jumping around. So if I have something like, say, a resistance level of 5 to 6, it drops back down to 4, or sometimes it goes up to 7 or 8. So it does cause me a little bit of discomfort and possible injury in my knees and back when this thing's kind of jumping around. And you can see it's just very loose. So I've tried to tighten it. I talked to Soul Fitness. It's a design flaw. The Soul Fitness way of doing this compared to, say, the Diamondback Fitness 1260 SC, which has a clicking lever. So it's kind of like a ratchet type of sound, and you have haptic feedback in a way. So you know, and the screen also on that, which isn't powered, it's off grid, really is a better design choice than this knob. This knob absolutely completely sucks. And that's why I didn't recommend this bike. And I still do not recommend it. Okay, so now that we successfully pissed off Soul Fitness and they'll never send me another product again, let's get to the full review of the Force USA AirBike. We're gonna unbox it, and if you take a look closer here to the box, it got beat up quite a bit. This was delivered by UPS. This was not the driver's fault because I met the driver at the truck. During transport, this got beat up pretty good. UPS and FedEx tend to do that. We're going to open it up and get a live organic reaction if there's any damage to any of the parts. I looked inside through one of these cracks. It seems like everything's still packed up very well, but it's an important piece of this full review to document the entire consumer experience. Okay, so we got some broken up styrofoam here, but everything looks to be in really good shape. They really pack it very well with the styrofoam, the plastic, and padded it between everything. Now for the assembly, it shouldn't take too long or be too involved, but we will document some of the assembly process, but this looks pretty good. I like that little Air type of logo right there on there. That's kind of cool. That is really cool. Nice branding right there. So we do have a mess here, but thankfully there isn't a mess when it comes to any damage here. So it's another check on all the parts, and they look really, really good. There's the seat over there. That's probably the monitor, the screen. And also here is the instructions. Very little hardware that you need to use. An Allen wrench, a regular wrench. We have a socket, and we also have an Allen wrench set. And then there are some washers and other stuff here. We will read the instructions. We will, we usually don't, but we will this time. But everything looks good, man. So they packed it up well. And thankfully, even though UPS beat it up, everything looks really good. So we have the Force USA AirBike fully assembled right now. I had to double back a couple of times. I'll explain as I take each and every part of the assembly process and react to it. But spoiler, super easy. I mean, I hate assembling stuff, so I did work up a sweat doing it. But for this particular part, I just want to demonstrate that this is very easy to move around. So right here, you have the handle on the back, and I'm able to roll it back and forth with no trouble at all. And it feels pretty light. It has a net weight, not the gross weight with the box and everything, of around 100 pounds. Yeah, around 100 pounds, 101.7 pounds, but on the wheels, it feels fairly light. So we're going to get all this garbage out and then we'll put it right in the center here. Oh man, I need to get a shop vac. It's a mess here. Styrofoam gets everywhere. Now, the joys of garage gym ownership. So here is my post-assembly reaction, and I have to say I really did enjoy, for as much as you can enjoy assembling anything, and the reasons why. Number one, the main reason, all these Allen wrench sizes are the same. Now, these were already on the part that needed to be assembled on the base right here, and everything else for that matter. You just needed to remove the ball and put it right back in when you put the part, in this case, both the sands or the platform or the foundation of the AirBike. Now, what's super important when it comes to the arms right here, do not tighten this all the way. I did that, and I needed to double back a little bit. Do not tighten it. The instructions said that, and guess what I did? I didn't listen, because you need to get this in here. If you tighten this all the way, you're never going to attach this at all. So keep this loose, put that in there, tighten them both up a little bit just to get them seated where they need to be. Then I tighten this first all the way and then tighten that. I can hand tighten it with right here where you put your foot. And then it got to a certain point where I couldn't tighten it. And I used the included wrench, and definitely used the included wrench. The only time I used a socket or any kind of socket was putting the seat on. Right underneath here, there's one here and one on the other side. I clamped this with a wrench and then used the socket to tighten that right there. And we do not have the problem we had with the Bells of Steel Blitz 2.0 AirBike. So this seat is already staying what it's supposed to. These knobs right here are very, very tight and easy to kind of tighten, a little hard to loosen. I'm gonna have to adjust that for myself. You see it's moving around a little bit, but you tighten those up, you're good to go. And that's probably where I'll put it right there. But for now, back and forth. As I loosen that, it's gonna be easier to move back and forth. But it still has a tightness to it. So I really do like that. Up here with the monitor, what I really like is the fact it takes two AA batteries, but the door is not covered. So it's a little thing, but if I ever need to replace it, really, really easy. Also, the screws right here are on the monitor. You have to remove them and then put them on like that. And then you can see the wire, had to fish it through right here first before I did anything, before I even tightened these. Fished it through up into here and then fished it back down when it was ready to be assembled. Once again, Allen wrench right here. These bolts, same size as those bolts and those bolts back there. So really good stuff. I hate assembling stuff, but this is definitely not the hardest thing to assemble. The pedals, same as a spin bike or anything. You twist them until they're hand tightened, and then take the included wrench and tighten them up. And they're labeled left and they're labeled right. Very, very easy. If I could enjoy assembling things, this probably would be something I would enjoy somewhat, but I didn't. So I just completed my first full workout using the Force USA AirBike, and it performed as expected. The build quality of this is awesome. Generally, AirBikes like this are built pretty sturdy for people to use, and especially when you're really trying to push yourself with high intensity interval training. This is that. Let's turn it back on. I can't use you right now. My heart rate just came down after 5 to 6 minutes after I got off the bike. But I basically did 10 minutes here, 20 on, 30 to 40 off. Sometimes I tried to stretch it to 25. 30 was a little bit much because I haven't done this type of training in quite some time. I was kind of doing every minute on the minute. So whatever I end up doing as a working set or a working round, the rest of the minute I would rest. And of course I would take a drink. Now that's one little thing. It doesn't have a cup holder, but the Bells of Steel, that cup holder broke within 5 workouts. So I'd rather it be designed like this, not have it. And with this type of training, it's not really steady state cardio, although I plan on doing some warm-ups on here before I do legs and other body parts, but I can get off it very easily, Philly accent, and not be strapped in like I was with the spin bike or the Soul Fitness bike. Get off, use the, take the drink, take the rest, get back on. I can even kind of like, do active recovery, run in place lightly a little bit, try to bring my heart rate down, and then get back on the air bike. But this thing performed great. I can move it around now. It's not kind of tethered to the plug, and that's the theme, to try to get as much off-grid equipment in here in the garage gym by 2025, watch that video. We're trying to really stay on the deadline with that. My wife is actually going to help me get rid of a lot of stuff, and we may document that. And you can see the stress. I'm kind of a gym hoarder. All the fitness brands and all the fitness reviewers tend to be gym hoarders. So she now is doing an intervention, and we're going to get rid of a lot of stuff. I've already donated a couple things, including that bike to my buddy Brandon, and he might be getting more stuff. So stay tuned, Brandon, and everybody else. That's my favorite part, is paying it forward and just passing along the blessings of getting equipment like this in the garage gym. So as far as this, back to the Force USA AirBike. Highly recommended, highly recommended. It's right in the price point of most air bikes. But if you use my link, forceusa.com/Stevie, you save a little bit of money. And of course, each and every time you use that link and links for all the recommended brands, you help support the content here at Stevie Richards Fitness. Most importantly, God bless you. I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, I don't want to get back on and work out till tomorrow or whatever. I'm done. I am done. So I'm done for this video. Most importantly, God bless each and every one of you. Have a great day.